be in the garden, be in nature. I trust you're well. I certainly am. I'm bringing you an update of the swarm I rescued yesterday, which was May the 30th. Some wild bees, and I managed to rescue them. That's on my video. Please go back and watch that. It's an unedited, I think it's unedited as far as possible. Just a bee swarm. And what I did is you'll see that I took them and placed them into this nuke box behind me. So that's where they've been in their new location overnight. They are sealed in here currently, just for them to be able to readjust and, if you like, using layman's terms, recognize their new sat navigation in this location here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to open the box and see how they behave. I expect they'll come out and peek around. Okay, so here it goes. I'm going to, and then I'm going to give them some sugar syrup as well, just to give them, here we go. I'm going to open that one first. They are curious. Oh, here they come. Okay, so that was their initial reaction, just to come out. What they're likely to do is to obviously send out some of their bees to just go and have a look around the neighborhood, really, and find out where they are located. This is a new location. It's about 30 kilometers away from where they were swarming. This location is a new location. It's about 30 kilometers, about 26 miles away from where they were located, where they had swarmed. And they've spent overnight until this morning in the nuke box. That's the polystyrene box you see with the red circle. Below is an empty hive, and that's where I'm hoping to relocate them in time. I'm just going to observe them though and just see how they're doing. They appear to have quite a nice temperament at this moment. So they're just going to try and find out where there's water, and just try and, recognize the new layout of this particular area where they are. So I'm hoping they will do that successfully and then go back into the nuke over the next couple of days. So I'm not going to have a look in there for a couple of days, just leave them to get settled. I will, however, put some sugar syrup in the nuke, that's this polystyrene box, just to give them something. So I'm going to just do that now, just give them some sugar syrup. The sugar syrup solution is literally one-to-one. It's an even one-to-one solution, just water and sugar, and that's what I'm going to do. I've made some and I'm going to pop some into the top lid here. I think just removing that tape probably irritated them a little bit. The noise, I don't blame them. So they're excited. They're coming out of the nuke and just finding where they are. They probably initially won't go very far. They'll just come out and circle around, and then they'll send out their scout bees, for want of a better word, who will just go and scope the area and figure out, suitable place to drink water. And, hopefully they'll come back to this nuke box. But of course, if they find, because they're wild animals, they can, of course, go and find somewhere else if they would prefer. People ask often, there is another hive actually just adjacent to it here. You can see there's another hive just here. And the question asked often is, how do they know this is their hive, and how will they know that this is their hive? It's as simple as their sat nav, their body's ability to recognize one location from another, plus the smell of their hive and their queen. So it's very much the same as when we come home. It doesn't matter if it's a dark evening or an early morning, you put your keys into your front door, and for the most part anyway, you don't accidentally walk into your neighbour's apartment. So they know their apartment. So I get asked that question often. So whilst I just give them a moment to relocate their sat nav and give them a moment just to find out where they are, I'm actually just going to have a little tour of the garden, and I'm going to bring you along. So come and join me, be in the garden, as always, being in nature. This is the bamboo I relocated. Do you remember in a recent video? And it's doing beautifully here. I'm liking that. Couldn't be happier. So let's just go through this little secret place here. And below is that path. You remember this, don't you? Got a lovely slug path here, haven't we? Do you remember I told you that the slugs absolutely love this plant here? And in case you need any evidence, there you go. They absolutely love the leaves in here. I suppose it must be their favourite salad bar. And that's the evidence that they've been there. They think I don't know, but I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious. And they've been here at the salad bar. Here's the pond, looking fuller. The bees from the new hive are possibly meeting up with the bees that have been here for a while and asking, so what's it like living here? Can you imagine? Imagine the bees from the new hive are probably asking the ones that have been living here for a while, like, what's it like to live here? No, I like it. It's very nice. It's just very peaceful, tranquil around here. Yeah. Yeah, so they're enjoying it here. There we go. A couple of the plants in the pond. Do you remember this one here? The gunnera. And I explained how large it can get. Well, all the rain we've had in recent times sure has encouraged it to put on some height. That's the gunnera there. The sound of the birds, beautiful, right? Okay, so as I said, I've got some sugar syrup. My intention is to feed them some of this, and if you can, it's just one to one sugar and water. And what I'm going to do is just have a look at the front again, see how they're doing from the front. They certainly appear to be happy. They're coming out, but more importantly, they are returning. I just opened it onto the wider opening for them, wider entrance. And what I'm going to do now is open them up and give them some sugar syrup. Okay, and this is really just to help them as they relocate themselves and figure out where to find pollen, nectar, honey in this new area that they are now located in. So I'm just going to just sit the camera here, to be honest, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'll try and explain. The bees are in this section here. This is the lid, the cover. Now I'm going to take the cover off and put something else, the same sort of depth as this, which I just showed you earlier on. That's where the sugar syrup is. The bees will be able to come from inside and take the sugar syrup but not exit, and then this will be on top. So we're going to have this area here where the bees are. Currently you could consider that being the brood box in essence, and then there's a lid. What I'm going to do in between the brood box and the lid is insert an area here, and that will contain the sugar syrup for the bees to be able to access from the brood box but not go into the lid. So that's my plan. Let's give it a go. I'm just going to knock it down slightly. So I'm just going to give it a quick, just to get the ones at the top to fall downwards. So just a firm knock. One has decided to jump into the syrup before I got the chance to put the lid on. It'll be okay. The others will, I'm sure, help lick off the syrup. Just taking the opportunity to see whether I see the cream here. So there's several in the lid. I'm just going to knock them out. Equivalent of the brood box, sugar syrup, and then the lid, the roof. They can only go from here to this section to take the syrup, but they cannot go from here into the lid. I can take the lid off any time I want to, just to top up the sugar syrup. Be in the garden, be in nature. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a little different, wasn't it? Please, as usual, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share, like, leave us a comment. What would you do differently if you have a hive? What questions do you have? Be happy to answer them. It's really quite hot underneath here, so I'm going to go and get this removed and carry on in my garden. But I really do appreciate you guys. I trust you're well. I certainly am, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.